Okay, this is the second part to the first video. Um, I'm going to try have to finish it with this. I was talking about the mind control murders and the kidnapping and the patterns used in certain. Well, how would you know they're mind control murders? They didn't do them in patterns. I'm sure it's been used a lot to murder and kill and um, used to control people's thought process. Their decision making, all of it. They've been programmed, and it's been going on a long time, long time. All you have to do is Google. Back when I told it in '77, there wasn't anybody telling it. I do know now that MK Ultra was supposed to have been before Congress in '53 for using mind control and mental torture, and they got a slap on the wrist. Now, do you really think that that bothered anybody? Um, so I guess Congress is either very, well, anyway, think for yourself there. But anyway, the murders also involved in the patterns. My son's name, Scott and Mark. Scott Peterson was one of them. I just told on the other tape about Scott Carpenter, the astronaut. Um, and also Carpenter relates to Karen Carpenter, the singer, with her brother. That happened years ago. And by the way, at that time I did tell that it was mind control. And I've given this to the press, which is controlled by the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the people that helped kidnap me. And this morning, when the people who were overseeing, like the Warren Commission almost, it was a cover-up, saying that, well, Sandy Hook, Alonzo, is that how you pronounce his name, Alonzo, Adam, just had a lot of mental problems. And here I'm going to be redundant because mind control has nothing to do with mental illness. And can you think of how many people, if this were told, they've written books? And by the way, I've spoken, or not spoken, but Twittered and corresponded with a man who wrote a book, and he's well known. And he contacted me because of my Twitter, what I put on Twitter about it. It was about the Martinez brothers that are in prison out in California for killing their parents. And you know what is puzzling to me is he said in his Twitters that this was the relationship because he had interviewed them with them. It didn't matter that I told him the truth, and he didn't question it that I remember. But this is, people have dismissed it. There's so many psychiatrists. Think of the ones that have, in Butner, the serial killers that are really mind control, most of them. It's just a weapon used. How about the psychiatrists that have diagnosed these mind control victims themselves and sent them to prison? Give them psychiatric drugs that are horrible. They have no relationship. You stop the mind control. In other words, you're just crazy, okay? Good thing I didn't know my real name back years ago, or, wow. I had enough done to me, believe me. But I wanted to focus on the Scott, that was my son's name, but it's been used a lot. I just happened to put this one down this morning, and I moved here, if I'm scattering this around a bit, I moved here to Roanoke in October of '86, and next door is Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. That's where the 33 were killed in the mass shootings at Tech, April the 16th of '07. And that was totally done in patterns. You had a lot of murders that were done there or involving students there that nobody speaks of, and believe me, the press does know it. I know over the years, I've been to this one personally. I have gone to Dallas. I have gone Atlanta. I mean, you wouldn't believe Huntsville. And nobody will print it. And a reporter friend of mine, and I hope he doesn't get mad that I have used his name. I think he meant for me to. He said, think of exactly what I'm saying, the outcome if the truth's told. How many people have lied, psychiatrists, doctors, law enforcement, besides how it's done, and, there's so many people that would go down the tube, so to speak. But back to Virginia Tech, you had those 33 murders, and that other man ended up shooting himself. And stop and think about a lot of these. The person that's condemned, their victim too, that's doing the shootings or the butchering or whatever, as this young man was. He was Jens Zorings. Jens Zorings, a diplomat, German diplomat's son. He and his girlfriend, Elizabeth Haysom, were convicted of killing her parents next door, and they were tried in Bedford, Virginia. And the police do know the truth about it. They really do. And those murders happened April of '85. I think I said that. Um, Also, the Aurora, Colorado, with James Holmes. Uh, people, it can happen to you. How would you know you're programmed? He can't stop it. He doesn't have a motive. It belongs to the person doing the mind control. I don't know what else I can say. The psychiatrist should be telling this. Law enforcement should be telling it. Instead of trying to shut me up. Um, I keep saying, okay, I wanted to say one other one here, the Fort Hood shooter. He was a psychiatrist who finished school, graduated from Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia Tech. Now then, he got his psychiatric training somewhere else, I think Harvard or somewhere. Anyway, he's the one that's accused of the killings at Fort Hood. He's a psychiatrist. He was under mind control. He can't defend himself properly. He doesn't know he was under mind control to do it. Now then, you've got these young people that are going to probably die. Well, he's dead, the Sandy Hook. Adam Lanza. People hate his guts. They hate the two. They hate me, by the way, for telling this, and especially telling about my kidnapping in the United States government and its links. Well, they really were the ones to the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. Just think of Rockefeller Center up there, where I guess ABC and NBC, I don't know about CBS, are all in that area. So I'm going to jump around now, and I'm just going to show the Gifford again. She was a Congress lady married to Mark Kelly, who was an astronaut twin, and his twin was named Scott. So what America did, the Marshall Plan, I want to jump back to that, and Prime Minister Thatcher. The United States installed Elizabeth's father, George, took down my father, and it was all illegal, kidnapped me and brought me here, and have tortured me and my sons, Mark and Scott. So, I don't know, maybe I'm singing rambling. I've done enough of these tapes, and I've got arthritis, and I can't stand to sit or stand. But anyway, to me, it's appalling that people hate this young man, Alanza. They hate Jens Zorings and Elizabeth Haysom. They hate James Holmes. That should have been an easy one there. And yet they love John Kennedy. Joe Kennedy, his father, helped kidnap me. He was ambassador to London during that time to England.